We're going to use AI to predict the perfect bracket.
I didn't even think about that. You next level. You know what I'm saying? I didn't even think about
Trying to give quality content
AI
to the people. So let's stop playing the games. Let's use AI and see what AI says, and then we break it down.
Okay.
Right?
See what it
You know
says.
what I mean? Stick with us. Stick with us. All right. So I'm going to share my screen on the whole AI. Even though you might not like them, you might hate them. I'm not a big fan anymore. I was, not anymore. I still pay for this John, so I'm going to have to use it. All right. That's Gronk on X. And let me zoom in just a little bit so we can see what we're talking about. And then I'll share another screen where we have the actual bracket itself. All right. So this is what we're going to do. We're going to say, you are the greatest March Madness bracket analyst in the world. Pick the perfect.
You had to give him an intro. You had to soften him up a little bit.
Yeah, just a little bit. Yeah.
Ego.
I got to make sure that they know and get the
You
AI in the
appreciate
right frame of
You
mind.
appreciate it. Okay, so you stroke the AI's ego. Okay.
Yeah, pick the perfect bracket.
Make sure you say
for
please at the end.
the 2026 NCAA tournament.
Basketball tournament. And you didn't say please.
I don't need to say please. All right, here we go. It's up and it agrees version alive. I crunch the numbers. Going with Duke.
Wrong.
Wrong. Going with Duke to win the Eastern region. It looks
Eastern
like.
region. Okay.
Going with Arizona to win the West region. Florida to win the South. Michigan to win Midwest. Is that not all number ones?
Yeah.
Hey, man. Final four. We got Duke, Arizona over Arizona, Michigan over Florida. And in the championship, we have Duke over Michigan. Duke is right now at plus 300 odds. I don't even know if that's true or not. I would have to look that up.
Yeah, it's about plus 300.
Okay. Upset specials they say St. John's, the number 5 seed St. John's makes a run.
Love them.
The potential Sweet 16. Mid majors, the lookout for is Akron and VCU.
True.
VCU had a run. What was that? A couple of years ago. I forget what year. They had a decent run.
Ago. That was long.
Yeah, that was a long time ago.
Wasn't Smart the coach? That was a long time ago.
A long time ago. Yeah, I remember that run. Though they had. They have no massive 15/2 shock, but they feel some 11 and 10 seeds will advance. Let's see. Let's shake it up a little bit. Please run this simulation 100 times. Who are the top 3 winners? Let's dig a little bit more here. Let's see what other ones we got. All right, so here, this is to your point. Only 34% of the simulations running the bracket, Duke is won. Michigan's won 28. Arizona won 21. The remaining 17 simulations were scattered. Florida with 9 wins. Houston with 5 wins. Others, UConn repeating Purdue, Iowa State. All right. How do you feel about Gronk's AI's picks? And would you agree with these picks? We can get to the bracket in a little bit. It looked like it didn't pick it really the way I wanted it. I can ask it to pick every game if we want and update the bracket so we can see it. But so far, what they have coming out of the Final Four and the championships in the 100 simulations of them picking it, how you feel about those picks, or do you like them, or is it just kind of consensus that this picking number one, just using statistics just to get there?
Yeah, the only thing about Duke, And obviously we got to look at the bracket because I think there could be some tight ones. Is that
Yeah.
they did it? They did finish strong in their conference tournament, being down a few players. But the question to me is about their health. Obviously, got one of the best players in the country with the Boozer, with the Boozer son.
Yep.
He's averaging about 20, 22, 24 points a game. But is it going to be enough? Right? Are those injuries going to hammer on them? As we're moving through this tournament. So that's why I don't think Duke makes it to the championship game. I think Arizona's pretty stout all the way around. Michigan's a tough team. They do lack in some areas, but I think this is a year that you're going to see probably an underdog get closer. I like St. John's. I like some upsets early on. I like Houston a lot.
I think I saw Houston play recently, and they did look good. I think I forget there was a close game.
Yeah, playing really, really well.
Yeah, they play well. I feel like Houston's defense always been kind of tough. Who are the top upset picks? And let's do 1,000. No, let's do 10,000 simulations. Let's see who the top picks.
VCU.
So we got VCU over
I can see that. North Carolina's they lost their best player, so that's a tough.
Over North Carolina.
I like that. I like South Florida
over Louisville.
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty high, right? 40%.
Yeah, I like South Florida.
640s. That's live. Iowa over Clemson, which is kind of close.
That's a 9-8. That's a 9-8.
Yeah. Other high frequency upsets: Texas A&M over St. Mary's.
Mm-hmm.
Well, this we know they were wrong on this one, right? Oh no, yeah, this would be wrong because SMU would have to beat Miami, Ohio.
Miami, Ohio. Yep.
Yeah. McNeese over Vanderbilt.
Hell no.
Hofstra over Bama. Texas over BYU. I think they just said Iowa over Clemson. Okay. All right. Let's bring up the bracket. Let's see if we can put some of these and punch these in. And let's see what we got here. All right, so let me bring up the bracket off the handy AI tool. All right, let me zoom in just a little bit. That don't look crazy. Probably gonna have to get tight. That's a little bit better. Go in one more. See, can I X this joint out? All right. You gotta be my guy, bro. Haven't watched college. I know the names. I know the big players.
Mm-hmm.
I know the Boozers. I know the AJs from BYU. Was it a Cuff or Koof Jr. in Arkansas? Brandon Smith. Who else? Candace Darren Peterson, I think, is over there. Is that his name?
Yep.
I know that just the main players. So this is your bracket, homie. Knowing what we know from AI, let's pick the perfect bracket.
We'll go Duke.
We'll go Duke.
Yep.
Oh, that won't let me click the Duke.
I can't move it over.
I can't move it over. Is it because? All right, let me refresh it because that game's over with.
Is it a bracket that you can plug in? Maybe not.
Let's see.
Oh yeah, you probably gotta go to a challenge.
Yeah, that's dumb. I thought we could pick those Jones. Let me see. All right. That's cool. We'll run it like this anyway. Let me see if I can find another one.
If you have to go.
I said, is NCAA let me do it? No.
Go to my picks and then click on men's whatchamacallit, then see you can start one.
Yeah, that's what I was looking at.
Go to men's basketball bracket challenge.
Yeah, but it just gives me a blank page. I'm just wondering if that because of that
Yeah, right there.
Yeah, it's not coming. Nothing's coming up. That's corny.
Try ESPN.
Yeah, that's what I was about to do.
We can just do a
I
dummy
create a
ESPN
better.
one.
Yeah. Everything's so slow. Let me do this. While I wait to get that up, any upsets for you that you have while I'm bringing this up? You're looking at.
I think there's potential for a lot of upsets. Now, are they all going to happen on the same bracket? I don't know. I think there are some upsets that can happen. Let me just pull mine up.
Yeah, I got. So
First
I
first
got.
round. Mhm.
I got ESPN's up. My bad. I didn't mean to cut you off, brother.
That's okay.
Yeah, I got ESPN's up now, so we can do that.
I think the first round upset I do believe is going to happen is that South Florida Louisville. That's the 11-6 matchup. I like South Florida how they've been playing. Really got a lot of length. They get up and down. I've been watching a lot of South Florida games.
Hmm.
Um, Coach really well. Actually, they had lost their coach. He had passed away. I want to say a year ago.
Oh wow.
And then they kind of like still he set up a good system there, and they kind of followed that move. And actually, it's two universities actually coached that. Can't think of the other one. They both are in a tournament right now. Once we come across that name, I'll make sure I'll shout them out.
So we can start from the
Okay,
top.
sure. I like Duke.
All right.
Let's go
So
Duke.
yeah, Duke, obviously.
Here's going to be a close match. I think it's going to be a good game. But I like Ohio State. I like how Ohio State's been playing, especially big games. They keep them
Hmm.
close, but I think they can kind of pull that off. We'll move over to St. John's,
St. John's. Yeah.
and
Candace.
obviously Kansas there. I think is going to go. Then we can close
This.
that bracket up if you want to.
Okay. You want to do Duke?
Yeah, I like Duke there, and I
Yep.
like St. John's in the upset here. 5-4 matchup, St.
Oh
John's.
wow. Okay.
All right, we'll
Yeah.
scroll down. We'll leave that Sweet 16 alone. We'll
Okay.
go South Florida. Like I said, I think that's a good upset there.
What's the what's the odds on that? Do you know?
Odds. Let's look at it. That's a good question. Do they play? What day? What do they play? What day?
Then tomorrow.
Is that tomorrow or Friday?
Yeah. Yeah. No. Today's the 18th. Yeah. Tomorrow.
What is it? A tomorrow? Do they play tomorrow? Or do they play Friday? You know, they switch it up. Let's see. Okay, no. So that's a -4.5 Louisville.
Oh, okay. That's that's pretty close for a 6-11.
So I like South Florida there just because of what they've been playing, how they've gelling together as a team.
Mm-hmm.
Louisville's been up and down. It looked like they're going to be special. They'll have some, and then they start weakening out throughout the season.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I just like this upset here. 11-6 upset. If I have to put an upset here, Michigan State. Obviously, I think they'll beat North Dakota,
Yeah.
and then we'll go. This is a tricky one. Here's another one. I think this is going to be a high-scoring game. I like the way UCF has been playing this year. Um, I'm going to throw in another upset here. Let me look at this spread.
Yeah.
Let's see if they. I don't know if they play tomorrow. They play probably Friday. So let's see. Friday.
It says Saturday. I think the 20th.
No, the first round is Monday, is Thursday and Friday. So they play Friday, and it's a 5.5 point favorite for UCLA.
I see that. Yeah.
So
Okay.
I'm gonna give them. Although UCLA, so this is the only thing about UCLA. Okay. No,
Okay.
it's interesting because they came into their tournament. The coach he's a good coach. He bitches and complains all the time because he's in the Big Ten now.
Yeah.
They play in LA, right? So let's look at this. I want to show you the schedule here. They're in Los Angeles, right?
Mm-hmm.
They've traveled to Iowa, to Wisconsin, to Penn State, to Ohio State. They had to come back over to Michigan and kind of close out the rest of the season there. But now they got to come all the way over here. They got to come to Philly. So they're coming back over to the East Coast.
You know what? It's funny you say that. I forgot that some of the first round games were in Philly.
Mm-hmm.
I forgot about that. That is true.
Yeah, Philly has a big. This is a big year for Philadelphia hosting sports
Yeah.
in the city, and it starts with this. This is the first real big
Mm-hmm.
hosting, and then it gets. We have the You have the World Cup. We have the MLB All-Star Game. There's a couple of things going on. But anyway, I do like this. I just think it's a lot for UCLA to kind of get back over here. UCF is a really tough team to play. I like this upset here, UCF. We'll go UConn there.
Yep.
Then we'll go UConn to beat UCF. There's just too much physicality for UCF. Tricky one, man. Tricky one. Now, this is where it gets a little tricky. You like a bracket with upsets and some upset potential.
You got South Florida.
South Florida could be your VCU, your James Madison's.
Your little Cinderella story.
It could be the Cinderellas. I think South Florida has a lot to really play for. But in this bracket, let's go Michigan State. Oh, unless you want to get tricky. Unless you just want to get tricky for the pile. Could South Florida win? They could. I think they would be. I think that would be Michigan State probably like a 5.5, 6.5 line.
Michigan State's always tough, though.
They are.
They're always tough.
So we go Michigan State.
Yeah. All right. So we're going back up. We got Duke and St. John's.
I'm going St. John's. I'm going Johnny boys and Patino. I think that's when the injuries catch up to Duke. I think they're just not going to be able to kind of get with that physicality. I think it's going to be a lot on Boozer. I think they have to beat the guys inside that can bang with Boozer. I like the Johnnies here getting to the Final Four.
Is that Rick? Is that Pitino? Rick Pitino?
That's Rick Pitino.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And then I'm assuming UConn.
And then UConn. And so this will be their fourth matchup this season, which is insane that they are on the same side of the bracket. It doesn't make any sense. Wow. This could be a potential, another game they can play. And, we'll leave that where it is, and we'll go to the other side, see what other side it'll be.
Okay. All right, so we got Arizona, Long Island.
You can bring them all the way down. Just keep on going.
Okay.
Arizona, the best team pretty much in the basketball. I don't see, especially in that bracket, I don't see who can stop them. I like Villanova to get one win just because they're hometown team here. I wouldn't be surprised if Utah State can upset them, but I like Villanova. Wisconsin's tough, very, very tough team. They got a lot of guard play. They put up a lot of threes. They'll put up 30, 40, 50 threes a game. We'll go Arkansas. I love Arkansas here. They're playing really good basketball. Calipari got them boys playing really good. BYU, Texas. BYU really flundered down the year. Started off really hot. They were ranked in the top 10, and then they lost one of their best players, and they kind of just been dwindling. They did have a good showing in their conference tournament. Can they beat Texas? I think they're good enough. DJ, they're going to want AJ to kind of, at least get one good win, get them further. And so I like BYU to beat Texas. Gonzaga, not as an offensive threat as they usually have been over the years, but give me Gonzaga here. Still coach very well. They're in familiar territory, being in a tournament, going deep. So I like them. This is tricky, man. Miami is one of them. You close your eyes and they win a game. It's like, oh, they beat this team. And it's like, give me Missouri on the upset, a 10-7 upset. I like Missouri. And then we'll go Purdue.
Queens. Shout out to, I don't think I've ever seen that with Queens.
Queens College, right?
Right.
And then we're going
Purdue.
We'll go Purdue.
Purdue.
And then we're gonna go. Let's flip a coin here. Do we want AJ DeBonzia to have a great game?
I think we want AJ.
Want that. Yeah, I don't know if they have enough though. But let's just put it out there just because we want AJ to be there.
Okay.
Arkansas. I like Arkansas here.
All right. And then
I think Arizona will be a little too much for Arkansas. And then we'll go Purdue.
Yeah. All right. So we got our 8. Well, half of our elite 8 here. Mm-hmm. St. John's, UConn, Arizona, and Purdue. Let's go to the other side. Let's start on the south. We got Florida.
Yep. We'll go Florida. We'll go Iowa here. I like Iowa in that short upset here. Yep. They'll be able to get after it. I love Vanderbilt. Vanderbilt's going to be another one of them Cinderella sleepers, playing really good basketball. We'll go Nebraska there. We'll go.
AI called this an upset.
They did. VCU is a good team. I just don't think they have enough talent in North Carolina. I got to go North Carolina here.
Yeah. Illinois.
But the problem is North Carolina's going to run into Illinois. Is just too good. They're going to go Illinois. And then we'll go.
This was another AI upset.
Yeah, St. A&M. I don't like Texas A&M, to be honest with you. I haven't seen a lot of Texas A&M this year. I've seen a lot of St. Mary's games. They've been more competitive with Gonzaga all season. I'll go St. Mary's here.
And then we already know with Houston.
We love Houston. We can keep it. We can stay there and go Houston again.
We go Houston again.
Yeah, we'll go Illinois here.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I'm going Vanderbilt. We're going to take Vanderbilt over
Vandy,
Nebraska, going to the Sweet 16. Vandy to the Sweet
Florida.
16 and go Florida.
Well,
SEC teams, they're familiar with each other. Let me take a look real quick. Let me see what happened over the season. Can I do that really quickly?
yeah, go ahead. Yeah, I'll throw some other ones. We already know the easy ones, right? We know Michigan is going to be there. We know Bama is going to be there. Let's see, Iowa State, Virginia. Is Virginia still that defensive mindset where they only score like 50 points?
No, they're different. They get
They're
out there, but they're a
different.
good team. They've actually, I think they've over extended themselves this season. Played really, really good basketball. Had some really good victories. Let me see.
I'm going Miami, Ohio here.
Miami of Ohio.
Yeah,
Upset Tennessee. Okay, that's
upset.
good. Their momentum. They just played.
Yeah,
So they played
upset.
that's Friday. That's probably a Friday game for them. So yeah, okay, that's
Yeah,
getting the momentum. Ah, that's a super Cinderella. Okay.
yeah, yeah. I think I believe the hype.
All right, what we missing?
Texas, Georgia, and
I like
St.
Georgia.
Louis.
I love Georgia there.
Okay, and then
Cool.
Texas and Akron.
This could be
This
a
is an
tricky one. Texas
this is
Tech,
another
they lost
upset.
their best player, Obi Toppin. I think not Obi Toppin, but last name's Toppin. I can't think of his first name. If you want to upset here, you can go Akron
Yeah, we're going Akron.
just for an upset. 12-5.
Yeah, so and that's a typical right upset. 12-5.
Yeah. The only thing is Texas Tech do have pretty solid defense, so Akron won't be easy for Akron at all.
And then Kentucky and St. Clair.
We'll go Kentucky here.
Yep.
That'll be a high scoring game. We'll go Iowa State. Iowa State is strong, really strong team. We'll go Virginia here. They're not going to. Miami of Ohio can compete there.
And
We'll go
Bama.
Alabama going to the Sweet
Uh,
16. Michigan beats Gonzaga. Too much firepower. Transition offense from Michigan is elite. Let's go. It's going to be going a high scoring game here. Michigan is going to probably be in the 80s, 90s. Michigan's is too good. We'll keep them there, and we're going to go Iowa State.
All right. And then on this side, Florida and Vandy.
So listen to this. Like I said, Vandy is. I mean, to put Vandy in the Final Four is crazy to think about. Score against Florida early in the season on the 17th of January, 98-94. Florida wins. High scoring 4-point win. And then you go about a month later, they played them March 14th and beat Florida 91-74. So this is really one of them games that I think could go any way. It's amazing.
Whoever hot.
Yep, it's going to be two teams that have been played each other a couple times. Florida and Vanderbilt and St. John's and UConn.
Do it. Let's go Vandy.
Vandy.
Let's go Vandy.
We'll do the gas run out. Let me see. Let's look at who Vandy has to go through first. Let's go. Let's do that. Vandy got to go to Nebraska and McNeese. And Florida got to go through Iowa and Prairie View. Can Iowa burn them out a little bit? No, still a little break for the next week, the Sweet 16. Can Florida have a back-to-back the gas? Let's go Vanderbilt. Yeah, let's go.
Let's go Vandy. Let's go. Ain't nobody scared. Iowa, Houston.
No, Illinois, Houston. We're gonna go Houston.
I'm sorry, you're right. Illinois, Houston. Yeah. All right, we got our Elite Eight. Let's bring it up top. St. John's and UConn. UConn getting back.
I'm going St. John's, baby. I'm going to the Johnnies to the Final Four. We're gonna be in a white suit. Coach gonna be in a white suit.
All right, Arizona and Purdue. I feel like I already know this.
Arizona, yeah, it's too much for Purdue. It should be a good game though. I think they'll keep it close in the first half, probably up to the mid-second quarter, and a late win for Arizona.
Is Vandy going, baby?
Hell no. Houston is too much. The bus stops there. Houston too tough defensively. Some young guys on that Houston team that can kind of go. I like Iowa State to upset Michigan here. I feel like it's going to bite me, but because I feel like Iowa State's become the popular number 2 seed to get to the Final Four over Michigan. I feel like Michigan might actually, but I'm going to go Iowa State.
All right. And what's our national championship?
Two teams I really like, St. John's and Houston. But we're going to go Houston.
Ooh.
Houston, Arizona.
All right, that's it. We stop right there. They gotta come back and see what happens after this.